So all y'all niggas had the bright idea to drop an album on the same goddamn day like I ain't got shit to do with my motherfucking life. Well, you know what? Mass review, motherfucker. Yeah, that's what you get. Let's talk about the shit. Alright, y'all, so it seems that everybody and their goddamn mama want to drop an album in 2018, and last week it was like album overload. Like literally 4 motherfucking projects dropped the same damn day that I wanted to review, and I was like, I can't keep up with this shit. I got a job, I got a kid, like this shit ain't easy to do, y'all. Like it really ain't. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do a mass review, sort of like how we did it with the Ketchup Wooly review shit. So we're gonna do that here. I'm gonna review all 4 albums, and the funny part about all 4 of these albums, they're all short as fuck, and they all dropped on the same day. It was like these niggas had a meeting or some shit like, yo, check this out. We gonna drop the same day and half-hour albums. Let's go. Team, break, whatever the fuck. But okay, we gonna do it. So we gonna get into these 4 projects, y'all. And we gonna start things off with Vince Staples' FM. Now this is the follow-up. I guess it's an album or an EP because it's short. It's only 23 minutes long, y'all. So I guess it's an EP, whatever you want to fucking call it these days. But it's a follow-up project to Big Fish Theory. When it dropped, I was kind of disappointed by it. I grew on it a little bit, but still it was like, man. But this project right here, I was hoping that we'd get more of that older Vince, the West Coast hip-hop Vince. And luckily, thank God, we did, because this project here is dope as fuck. First of all, the energy on this project sounds like some Vince Staples. The beats on here are banging, fucking West Coast knockers. I was like, and I was listening to this shit in LA at the same time, so that shit just enhanced it for me, goddammit. Also, he's got Big Boy, not from Outkast, the actual radio personality, Big Boy from Big Boy's Neighborhood. He's pretty much like running this entire project. It's like an episode of Big Boy's Neighborhood being played through this album while Vince Staples' music is playing, which I think is dope. It's a very dope concept. I like how Vince pulled it off, and it's just Vince pretty much talking that shit like he used to back in the day. Them West Coast vibes, talking about being in the hood, the shit he sees, him just, you know, being like Vince. It's like old Vince Staples, but like in a new polished form, which is dope. But he's also got only like 8 songs on here. There's 8 songs, and then there's some interludes. There's like some radio interludes, but also we got an Earl Sweatshirt verse on here that's kind of cut off, but it sounds kind of dope. It sounds like it was about to get into the next level, then they cut the shit off, as well as the new Tiger joint, so that's on there as well. But there are a lot of dope songs on here. Like all 8 songs on here, I like. They bang, they knock. I mean, Feels Like Summer is a great opener. I mean, it was like, yo, the beat on there is just hard hitting, and it feels like some West Coast shit when you're driving down the goddamn freeway. Outside is dope. Don't Get Chipped is talking about like, yo, don't get fucking caught up. Relay, Fed Chirp on Spinner, hit the blurp with the hammer. Yo, that shit is fly, yo, I love that shit. Also, Run the Bands is dope. And then Fun. I mean, he's just having fun on this entire project, but like, yo, he ain't trying to fuck up nothing at the same time. And that's a dope song. No Bleeding, Head on the Swivel, No Bleeding. Oh, come on now. Vince is back in his fucking zone right now, and I'm loving this shit. The closing track, Tweaking, is fucking dope. Like, literally, all this shit is just on point. It's got comedic moments in here, hard-hitting moments on here, but in the end, it sounds like that Vince that we love to hear all along. He steered away from the Big Fish shit, and he went back to his roots, and I hope he stays this way. I hope he ain't just playing with us with this shit, and then the next album's Big Fish Theory 2, just to be a fucking asshole. You Sprite drinking motherfucker. I like you, though. I fuck with you, but I'm just saying, don't do that shit, Vince. You already got us hyped for this shit. But it's a dope little project. It's 23 minutes long, but it feels a bit longer because of the way it flows. It flows seamlessly. The concept is dope, but it just feels like a full album in a way, even though it's fairly short. So I really fuck with this project. I like it a lot. I like that Vince is going back to that West Coast vibe that he was doing earlier on, but he seems more polished and just more detailed with his work, which is really dope. The beats on here bang. Vince is spitting. It's got some, I think J-Rock is on here as well. You know, he don't be labeling them features and shit, but I know J-Rock, I heard him on there, as well as some other singing motherfucker. But Earl Sweatshirt's on there, so check out that verse, that's dope. And also Tiger, of course, but mostly it's Vince, and Vince is doing his damn thing. So I gotta get this album right here, a Granddad approved. Definitely check this shit out if you ain't heard it. FM is a banger. It's the best shit on the radio that I've heard that was never on the radio. So fuck it, Vince. You got one with me, and the Big Boy shit was dope. So that's what it is. Vince Staples, FM, Granddad approved. The next album we're gonna talk about is Swizz Beatz Poison. Now this is the second Swizz Beatz album. I think the first one dropped like 2006 or 5. It was a long time ago. I think it was that one-man band album or whatever the fuck it was. I ain't listen to the shit. But I said I'm gonna give this album a shot. It was another fairly short project, only 33 minutes long, 10 tracks, and it had a crazy good feature list on here. Like Swizz got some motherfuckers on here. He's got Lil Wayne, Giggs, Kendrick Lamar, Jadakiss, Styles P, Jim Jones, Nas, Pusha T, 2 Chainz, French Montana, Young Thug, and Annie Zion. I hope I didn't fuck that up. But yo, it's a serious fucking track list. So I was like, okay, this just gotta be at least halfway decent. And I'm glad I checked out this project because honestly, Swizz Beatz came through with a really dope album, y'all. Like honestly, the production on here, like I've always liked Swizz Beatz' production. He's always had that high energy, hard hitting beats. I mean, he pretty much was the sound of Rough Riders for the most of their like highest point, and it was for good reason. And he just comes on here with some really, really dope, hard hitting banger beats that fit each and every artist that he has on it so damn well. I mean, of course, Pistol on My Side, we heard that when he dropped that song. Like it was really, really a dope ass song with Lil Wayne. It kind of jump started Lil Wayne's coming back with the Carter 5, but also this was, I guess, the first single for his album as well. But then you also got tracks like Cold Blooded with Pusha T, which is hard. Echo with Nas, which is a dope beat. Preach with Jim Jones is a really spacey like beat, but it's got a real hard hitting drum. Something Dirty with Jadakiss and Styles P doing the back and forth shit. I love that shit with Kendrick on the hook. I mean, it's just a fire ass album. And honestly, y'all, even the song with Young Thug, I honestly like the song with Young Thug. And I don't even listen to Young Thug shit. I don't know if he normally sounds like this shit, but like honestly, Young Thug was getting it on this track, the 25 Soldiers track. And I think it just shows that Swizz Beatz has the ability to bring out more out of artists than the usual producer, I guess, because he's been doing it so long. And he's pretty much made these songs feel special with each and every individual on here, which is dope. And this album isn't like mind-blowing. It isn't gonna like shake the world. It's pretty much a straightforward banger album. 1 to 10 is all bangers, but just with different artists. But they all come through fairly well with some dope ass tracks. And honestly, I don't have any problem with any of the tracks. Like I said, I didn't love this album, but I really, really enjoyed it. And it's a good album to get hyped to play at a party, to get yourself working out. Like it's that type of energy that Swizz Beatz is giving off, and he does a really good job with the features that he did. And even the other tracks that are on here that I really didn't care that much for compared to others, like Swiss Montana, which is the outro. I liked the song. I didn't care for French Montana's part because he's on there as well. But Swizz Beatz' energy on there was dope. Even Stunt with 2 Chainz, I think 2 Chainz, he sounded good on there, but I felt like he needed a little bit more energy on that one as well. But he did okay on that. But the intro, the Poison intro, that was the spoken word by, I guess, Annie Zion. She did a great job with the spoken word, a great way. And then the instrumentation on there to build it up, going into Pistol on My Side, was really dope as well. So honestly, y'all, this is a very solid Swizz Beatz album. I really enjoyed it for the most part, and I was impressed on how much I enjoyed it. I knew Swizz was gonna bring the beats, but the features on here really came through and did their damn thing. It's not a perfect album. It's not gonna be like, whoa, this is crazy, I listen to it over and over again, but there are some cuts on here and I can listen to it front to back. So I'm gonna give it a very highly Granddad recommended, because even though it's a dope album, production's dope, the features on here all come through and they're dope. Nothing is really out of the ordinary or out of the box. I mean, they do gel well together. Swizz's production and these artists, Swizz found a way to make these artists work on these beats. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much what you're gonna normally get from these artists. So it's like something that you could have got from one of their albums that's just put on a Swizz Beatz project. But for the most part, it comes through well. So yeah, Swizz, you got a good one, and you a cool ass dude. I met Swizz Beatz before, yo. He's cool as shit. So like, yo, I fuck with the album and I fuck with you. Very highly Granddad recommended. The next album, y'all, is Action Bronson with White Bronco. And this one, I think, kind of like got slept on or fell under the radar. I didn't hear too many people talking about this album, y'all. I think this is the first like fully independent album like that Action Bronson has dropped off of Atlantic, because he's not on Atlantic anymore. And it's the follow-up to Blue Chip 7000, which I thought was a really dope album for the most part. It wasn't like amazing or mind-blowing, but it has some really dope cuts on there, and he really did his damn thing. I love that shit, that Live and Breathe with the Fat Boy sound, but that shit still goes. So when I went into this album, I was wondering how he would do with 100% creative control. And this is another, like I said, short album, only 27 minutes long, 11 tracks, and it's all songs, no interludes or anything like that. And honestly, y'all, this is just an okay album. It's not bad, but it's not amazing or super great at the same time. It falls within the middle. This is pretty much like your run-of-the-mill Action Bronson project. He's gonna give you all the core Action Bronson qualities of an album. You know, the throwback style production on here, where he likes to flip certain samples and songs and kind of make it his own. He also does, you know, pretty much just comedic, wacky, out there bars. Even though there are some pretty basic bars on here that were kind of like, or it could have been better. And also, there's just like no other like outside things that make this album great. I mean, there are no real standout features really. I mean, he's got Mayhem Lauren and Big Body Bess, and also Young Miracle and A$AP Rocky. But these are people he's worked with before, and they really don't bring anything different to the table. So overall, like, this was an album that when I heard it, I was like, it's cool. It's like, I wasn't really like, I was like mad about it after hearing hearing it a few times, it really didn't stick with me that well. There were some songs on here that were kind of dope though, like the title track, White Bronco. The beat on there is really, really dope. It's got this really like, I guess it's a Rhodes piano that starts off like some like Mr. Rogers type shit, but then it goes to this hard hitting, like dusty, like lo-fi sounding beat, which I thought was really dope. Also, I think Prince Charming is a cool song because it's talking about him being in love. You know how Bronson is with his love songs and shit, so that's a cool song. Also, Irishman Freestyle was kind of cool. Live from the Moon was really dope too. But then there were some songs like Dr. Kimball, which was the intro, which is okay. Also, Swerve on him was mad. You know, Telemundo I didn't care too much for. You know, so like it was a really mixed bag with this album, but there were no tracks here that were like god awful or terrible. It was just like meh or whatever. And honestly, like this is an album that I think is gonna get slept on or slept under the radar unless you're a super action Bronson fan. Like I said, I don't hear many people talking about it, but this is an album that really isn't gonna get anybody jumping out of their seats. It's not as good as Blue Chip 7000 or Mr. Wonderful to me, or even some of his earlier work. It's probably one of his, I would have to say probably one of his like more underwhelming projects to me. It really didn't have any like bite or excitement to it. You know, it just felt like more of the same that we got from Bronson. I'm glad that he's able to go and, you know, do his own thing. So hopefully on this next project he'll give me a little bit something more. But this one here is cool. It's a cool album, nothing great, but I probably won't go back to it aside from, you know, the songs that I mentioned. So I'm gonna give it a Granddad recommended. Not terrible, but not amazing. But you know, Bronson kept it pretty much solid throughout the album, and you know, he kept it consistent with what he was doing. So that's what it is. But it's meh. And the last album I'm gonna talk about, y'all, is Styles P with Dimebag. Now, Styles P, y'all, is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's actually my favorite member of the Locks, and he's been having a hell of a year. And I find it really like upsetting that I didn't even review any of his shit, because he's been dropping project after project, and it just seems like every time he drops a project, another project comes out that kind of has to take like leapfrog over that, and then I end up listening to the shit mad late. So he dropped like Nickelback EP, G-Host, the shit with Dave East, Beloved. I think he also dropped another project called Ghost in the Shell this year. I think that was this year. So he's like, I think 4 or 5 deep with projects this year, and he's having a hell of a year. So I was like, I at least gotta talk about this one, Dimebag, which is, I guess, the follow-up to Nickelback. It's like, you know, the next chapter, but this is a full-length album. But only 34 minutes, it's 10 songs, of course, because it's Dimebag. But this is a dope-ass album. Like, I'm rarely disappointed when it comes to Styles P when he comes out with albums. He usually keeps the same consistency. You're not gonna get anything too out of the box with Styles P, but what he does works. You know, Styles P likes to smoke. He's a gangster. You know, even though right now he's a peaceful dude who sells juices in New York. He's like, you know, he's a plant-based motherfucker. Like, but he's still a thug at heart. I still fuck with Styles. But point is this album right here is just hard hitting. The production on here is really dope. He's got some Vinialo production on here, which is really, really hard hitting. You know, Vinialo comes with those bangers. War and Peace is a great opener, as well as Never Fight an African, which has a dope intro in the beginning. Time Machine is a dope track that he talks about things in the past. A Couple Dollars is a dope little banger. Money and Checks as well, talking about more about money. Life Then Death. Marie Antoinette has the dopest beat on here to me. That beat is so fucking fire. Lottery Games is dope, Self-Made. Like, this is a solid 10-track project, and I mean, I'm not surprised that it's so good because it's Styles P. I really enjoyed it from top to bottom. Just him, no features, and he kills it. Like, and he's just been having one hell of a year. So shout out to Styles P, because you've been dropping consistent quality projects every single time you drop this year. You've had a hell of a year, and I mean, it's going unnoticed, I think, by most people. But I'm letting you know, Styles, even though I didn't review your shit, I'm telling you right now, all those projects that I named before, check them all out, and check out Dimebag, because this one here, to me, is Granddad approved. I mean, just listen to it. Like, if you listen to Styles P, he's got bars, he's got songwriting, he's got dope beats, and he's giving you that consistency. So listen to this album, then listen to Beloved, then listen to Ghost in the Shell, and the Nickelback, and G-Host. Listen to all those projects, because Styles has just been killing it in 2018. But I gotta give him at least one this year, and this one right here, Dimebag, it's a dope 10-track project. Granddad approved. You know, go smoke one with Styles P. I don't smoke Styles, but shit, like I drink a kale juice with you. It's probably nasty as fuck, but I'll try it, because you know, you the dude, you that dude. But yeah, no, that's my thoughts and my ratings on these albums, y'all. So yeah, usually this don't happen, y'all, but so many albums dropped this year, and it would have just been a lot to do, like separate reviews for everything. But I just still want to get my thoughts out. So let me just give a quick like synopsis once again. So Vince Staples, FM, Granddad approved. And then we got Swizz Beatz, Poison, very highly Granddad recommended. And then we got Action Bronson, White Bronco, Granddad recommended. And last but not least, Styles P, Dimebag, Granddad approved. And those are my thoughts on those albums, y'all. So definitely check out all those projects. I'll link them all below. You can check them out. Let me know what you think of any of these projects if you heard it. If you have not heard it, you know you got to check that shit out. And you know, these are rare, y'all, but once in a while I have to do this shit. But you know, they all still count as reviews. So when it comes to the end of the year list and all that shit, these will still be counted within that shit. But now I'm all caught up, y'all, so we good right now. Don't do no more weeks like that, y'all. Like, chill out. 2 albums a week, goddammit, 2 albums. So like, now I got more albums to look forward to in the future coming up, as well as I'm gonna be on the next episode of the Luke James podcast. So look out for that shit, because that's gonna be dope. I'm also gonna be on another podcast by another group of dope motherfuckers in the game. So I'm gonna keep that one on hush, so you'll see that one when that comes out, but that's also gonna be coming up too. So a lot of big things are happening, y'all, so make sure you look out for that. So like I said, make sure you hit the subscription button, subscribe, thumbs up, drop comments, all that good shit. So until next time, I'll take my leave. Granddad, let's talk about the shit. Wooly Reviews, Mass Review Edition. 4 albums, 4 ratings, gave my thoughts. Don't do that shit no more. 2 albums a week, goddammit. That's too much too soon, goddammit. Like, we got lives. Just because y'all want to drop albums, like, I swear to God, like, I miss the old days when like 2 albums would drop a week. Like, now, everybody could drop an album tomorrow, and it's too much. It's too much, but I love it. I'm out of here.